It was a particularly brutal and vicious murder. It was something that showed some sign of real rage.
Chris was just this gentle giant.
Nobody expects their friend to kill their family. Like, what?
The wrestling champion who murdered his family. Professional wrestling champion Chris Benoit murdered his wife and 7-year-old son before taking his own life in June of 2007.
Former champion Chris Benoit found dead in his Atlanta home along with his wife and young son.
How did his ring rage turn him into such a monster? Why did he do it? Chris Benoit was born on May 21st, 1967 in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. At 12, Chris began his wrestling training in order to pursue his dream career. Soon enough, he began training with top-tier wrestlers. His hard work eventually paid off, and in 1985, he made his professional wrestling debut in the Stampede Wrestling promotion. Chris married twice in his life, but tying the knot didn't turn out well for him both times. He first married in 1988 to a woman named Martina, with whom he had 2 children, David and Megan. They both divorced in 1997 with mutual consent. He married Nancy in November of 2000 after having a son with her earlier that year. Unfortunately, this marriage also started to fall apart, and Nancy went on to file for divorce in 2003. In the hope to gain physical strength through a shortcut, Chris increasingly used steroids without caring about the side effects. These steroids impacted his mental stability to a great extent and made him an extremely difficult person to handle at times. Eventually, Nancy decided to give him another chance. In the meantime, he started to have health complications as well. As a result, his mental and physical health took a bad toll. His poor marriage life also contributed to his mental decline, and all these factors combined to eventually turn Chris into a mental disaster. The real consequences of his actions came on June 22, 2007, when he killed his wife Nancy in the bonus room of their house. She was found with her limbs bound and arms restrained through a coaxial cable. A balled-up pair of tube socks rounded up through duct tape was also discovered and appeared to be soaked in dried blood. Police believed that it was used as a makeshift gag prior to Nancy's death. The next day, on June 23rd, he killed his 7-year-old son Daniel while he was sleeping in his bedroom under the influence of Xanax. Chris had left copies of the Bible at the side of both corpses. After killing both his wife and son on the night of the 23rd and 24th of June, Chris called his fellow wrestler friend Chavo Guerrero in order to excuse the outing plan that they had scheduled earlier. According to Chavo, he was sounding really bizarre and tense and said,
Then later get a call from Chris, and he goes, "Oh man, I'm not gonna make it." I go, "What's wrong?" He goes, "Daniel and Nancy have food poisoning, and I'm just trying to take care of them."
The next day, on the 24th of June, Chris claimed his own life by hanging himself inside his house. He used a weight machine cord to roll around his neck and hung himself from the roof of his bedroom. Even now, nobody was aware of the tragedy that had occurred in Chris's house. Another day passed, and it was time for him to show up at the pay-per-view event for WWE in Corpus Christi, Texas. When all the officials and senior wrestlers arrived one by one and Chris still did not appear, they all started to worry about him. After a while, the WWE concerned called the Georgia police to check on Chris's house. It was only then that the police arrived at the house and discovered the bodies. All the bodies had started to show signs of decomposition, with his wife's body being in the worst condition as it was lying still for more than 2 days. A note was also found inside one of the copies of the Bible that he possessed saying, "I'm prepared to leave this earth." All 3 bodies were taken to the hospital, and the news spread like wildfire, leaving everyone stunned. WWE Chairman Vince McMahon issued an official statement regretting the incident.
WWE superstar Chris Benoit, his wife Nancy, and their son Daniel are dead.
Benoit's surviving son and daughter from his first wife still consider him their hero, and believe that the man they knew was not like how he ended up being.
People need to understand that that was not him. He was my hero.
Nonetheless, the horrifying murders and suicide have forever tarnished the name of Benoit's family. And that's a wrap for the wrestling champion who murdered his family. We will be back with another interesting video, but until then, goodbye.